forget, record. There we go. Okay. Okay, Margaret, you want to kick us off?
Sure, I can kick us off. Good morning, everybody. Happy Monday. Renee, very nice to meet you. Welcome to the group. I am the founder and CEO of Evolve Coaching, and I am a women's life empowerment and holistic grief coach. So I work with professional women who are feeling stuck and frustrated in their grief, and I help them move beyond grief and integrate it into their life so that they can step into their next chapter without guilt. I'm also the co-founder and CEO of Unshakable Me, which is summer camps and programs for teenage girls. And that came out of my work with the women because every time we dive into their stuff, we ended up in childhood and teenagers. So that's what I do. So yeah, that's me.
Cool. Brenda Lynn.
Good morning. I'm Brenda Lynn Haley, and I'm an empowerment coach, and I have a vision board studio. So I'm with these lovely ladies as a Dare to Declare alumni. And so I teach vision board workshops in my barn studio on my property. And I am also a parenting expert. So I work with children with special needs and supporting parents. And I'm currently writing a book on autism for parents of newly diagnosed children with autism. So
We
that's
should
me.
connect after because one of my girlfriends is actually part of Autism Canada. She's one of the head marketing for them.
Oh my God. Hallelujah. There we go. And the universe brings it in.
Yay! I love this. And by the way, Brenda Lynn is also a published author.
Woo.
Yeah, that's amazing. Isn't that cool? I love
Just
this. I got goosebumps.
crazy.
I know,
Wow.
right? Renee, do you want to drop your contact info
Yeah,
to
I'll put that in the
Brenda Lynn in
chat.
the
Yeah,
chat?
so Nick has two autistic children. She actually works with Autism Canada, and she's been going through a lot right now. Her husband actually has cancer, so they've been dealing with all of that. But she is huge in that community, and her son is actually an ambassador for Autism Canada. So they've been doing a lot through there. So yeah, I will put my email in here, and I will get you connected with Nick for sure.
Fab.
Thank you so very much.
No
Wow.
problem.
Great lead that is.
That's amazing. All right, D's on the road.
I am on the road today. Yeah.
You are.
Early meeting that was supposed to be done a while ago. So yeah, it's a little cold out here, so I'm hoping I can handle it. If not, I may just I might turn my camera off and go down the road and listen
Okay.
if it gets too cold.
Awesome.
So I'm Dee. I'm artistic wellness coach. I share vision boards, as Brenda Lynn mentioned, vision boards and power word sessions, as well as I teach people how to paint and how to really embrace creativity in a number of different ways. I work with, my main group is women 45 to 75, actually, and that number keeps growing, which is beautiful. And but I also provide these art activities, and I'm hoping to get into the vision boards for younger teens as well. That's me.
Awesome.
Welcome.
Awesome. Okay, so, well, I mean, you guys already know who I am, but maybe Renee doesn't quite know what it is that it's like, okay, yeah, my aunt's a coach. I don't know. So my official tagline, if you will, is that what I do is I help successful, mature women break through limitations and tap into their inner badass so that they can create results that they've been putting off for way too long. We get to our age and the kids are gone. Sometimes the husband is gone. Sometimes the job is going, or there's indecision around that. So it's really just to get some clarity, tap into what they've been carrying with them all along, and just let that bring that up to the surface. So that's my deal. All right, so the 333, who would like to kick us off? How are we doing for time here? So we're just going to go around, maybe let me check the time first before. Oh, we're okay. We're in pretty good shape. Okay, so why don't we say 10 minutes for each, and then we can open it up to the floor after that. Actually, Dee, do you want to go first? Because before you turn into a popsicle.
Thanks. I appreciate that. Yeah. The sun is helping, but I don't know if it's going to help when it's this cold out. Thanks. So yeah, so I'm working on I'm calling it the Lifeline Through Art project. That's what's kind of come up to the surface for me. And I'm putting together six different, I think it will be six different modules to introduce people to painting, vision boards, power words, and creativity in general, because I really feel very passionate about helping others to find their potential creative outlets. So many people have said to me, I'm not creative. But when you start thinking about it and talking about it, we have ended up finding ways that everybody is creative, but they're just in a variety of different ways. So I spoke last week with Tracy Sheriff. I wasn't sure if I needed if a course, a formal course format was needed, but I've got it all kind of mapped out in my mind and some notes down as well, but I do have to get more on paper. But right now I'm going to focus on using Zoom and YouTube for video sharing, and then emails as communication. I already do newsletters, so this will be an additional focus within the newsletter. I'm not sure what else to.
So
I'm very
can I
early
ask
days.
Okay, so can I ask a question then? So is
Please
this,
do.
so when you're going to be using, you say you're going to be using Zoom and YouTube, does that mean that this is going to be the delivery system for the 6 modules? Is that what you're,
I think so. Yes.
okay,
Like some of it will be done in person, but those that so some of the classes and stuff will be in person, but I also wanted to share further afield. So that's where Zoom and YouTube sharing will come in. Like some of the activities and sessions that I'll do, I'll have a little YouTube, like a primer, so people can have a feel for kind of where we're going and some preparation practice before they come into a session, so they can have a little taster and be feeling confident and relaxed when we get started with things. Hmm.
cool. So now is Tracy going to be helping you to design the course and
She no, she doesn't. I went through kind of what I was picturing, and she said she's there to help if I have any questions. But she said she actually felt that I was in good, like, keep going with what I'm doing. So she didn't feel at this point in time that there was anything that she could really add,
okay.
which was great to hear because I wasn't sure if I was on the right track or yeah.
Okay, so what does that mean then for your 333 statement? What does that reframe it in any way? Like what is it that you want to accomplish by when and in how many dedicated hours?
Yes, I will probably revamp that a bit.
Okay.
I don't know if I know it now. Um,
That's okay. That's okay. That would
yeah.
probably be the next step, because then if you can have like a very definitive.
Hmm. Yeah, because what I had written before, I don't think the first, eh, I don't have
Yeah, I
that
don't
note.
have your 333 statement. It's not in the master document because you were having a hard time with Google. You said Google Docs
Yes.
and you can't
Yes.
access it.
I did finally get that fixed yesterday.
Oh, did you?
I figured it out. I have to go in. I have to go in through my work
Yeah.
one, and then I can switch account in there, which is so
Convoluted.
counterintuitive.
I know. Yeah.
And it's like, I don't want work knowing what I'm doing, but it's the only way to get it to work. So I don't know why it's like that. So
Probably because
yes.
work is your main Google account, and then if you go in and add an account, then you can switch between them. Because I have the same thing with the wine import business is
Oh,
on
okay.
Google Mail.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Mm-hmm.
it's the Carol at Artisanal Wine Imports,
Yeah.
but there's also another one for. Anyways, yeah, it gets really convoluted. You should see how many Gmail addresses I've got attached to mine, and I'm not quite sure which one is the main one anymore. So if
Yep.
one
I
if
hear
one
you.
goes and
Yeah,
that's
it's
the main one, I'm
confusing.
pretty much rooked. Okay, well that's
Yeah.
great. So you got that figured out.
Okay.
Okay, so
Yeah.
let me make sure I've I've shared the document with you. So what's the email address then? Yeah, you're not on here. So can I add you?
That, yeah, try. I think I've been using the other email, but DSTEWARD
The
at
letter
all
D or
letters. Yeah.
D
Yeah,
S.
sorry.
Okay. Yeah.
Letter D and
Yeah.
then S.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so D Stewart,
Yeah. I've
all
got two
lowercase,
here.
at alumni.uwo.ca.
Yeah. I've got it right here.
Is
Yeah.
that one the one? Okay.
There were two
That's,
there, and there was another one, 2020 at Yahoo.
yeah, that one's not attached to the
Okay.
um Google documents.
Okay, so I just shared that with you. So that way
Okay.
you'll be able to see if you and we can get on a quick call and I can walk you through it and how the
Okay.
document is set up. Okay.
Okay. Yep. Thank
Cool.
you.
Okay.
All right.
All right. So that's the yeah. Oh, and by the way, just so everybody knows, because I'm in the middle of moving, Margaret's gonna be hosting the next meeting. Woo-hoo-hoo. Thank you,
Awesome.
thank you, thank you. So grateful. That was one thing. I was looking at it and going, oh, wait, there's more than movers to deal with here. There's this calendar thing. So, anyways, all right. So, is there anything you need from us, Dee, before we move on?
No, I just need to, and I'm aware of this, I need to dial in and focus. Um, I have a lot of loose ends. I thought I was getting a lot of loose ends tied up, but it's funny, you get some loose ends tied up and more show up.
Yeah.
So yeah, so for me it's that specific focus. And I'm actually gonna try the one that you shared in our Mojo, Reclaim Your Mojo, the one with the 6 goals per day,
It
the
works beautiful.
25,000 thing.
Yeah.
Because I think that level of specificity
Mhm.
is maybe what I'm needing right now. So those top 6 things that I need to do, whether it's, so
Mhm.
some of it is 333 specific, but some of it will be the other stuff too, so I can make sure I am getting all those loose ends wrapped up.
Yeah, yeah, and I'll be talking about that tomorrow in week 3 as well, and
Mhm.
going deeper. One of the things that I will, and Brenda Lynn, you're also in the Mojo course, that $25,000 idea, the top 6, get granular. Okay, they don't need to be the big, oh yeah, I got to get my website done and I got to get this done and everything, because then you wind up spending all day on one, and then you've got 5 that you're tossing over to the next day, and it can be more discouraging than anything. So break it down. So yeah, if you have to say, okay, I need to, in my case, for example, I'm porting my website over from one platform to another. So what do I want to tackle first? You know what? I'm going to work on the blog, and I'm just going to copy all the blog over and set that up. And then if it's more than 2 Pomodoros, then I got to break it down into another thinner task, if that makes sense.
Yep. Yep.
Cool.
Yep. That makes sense.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. How you feeling? Still warmed up?
I'm still okay.
Are you in negative digits yet?
I got my layers on here.
Awesome. All right.
Thank
Okay.
you.
All right. So next, how we doing? How we doing? Yeah, look at that. 9:16, exactly 10 minutes. Beautiful. All right. Brenda Lynn, do you want to go next?
Sure, I can. I have to admit right now, I've been off the boat. I've really had a slow start to the year, but I'm ready to get back into the groove again. So my 3-3 statement was to create 12 chapters to complete my book in 120 hours of dedicated work within 120 days from now. So I haven't been doing much writing at all, but I do need to get back into it. And meeting Renee today has just given me a game changer here. So because I was feeling a little bit discouraged, shall I say, because writing is it's such a solitary act and mission. And it's hard when you don't have someone behind you going, hey, how's that going? And that's why I love our groups because it keeps me accountable. And yes,
Well,
so
in your defense, a lot of these groups paused over the holidays too.
right.
And it's easy to get out of a rhythm, right? We were all in a rhythm, and then all of a sudden the holidays hit, and it's in the middle of the week. The two. So yeah, I get it. I totally get it because I don't imagine Rusty was running her groups,
No, no, not over Christmas.
right? So don't be too hard on yourself here.
So we're doing that, and I'm just looking at having a writing accountability partner where I can deliver my work. And I'm gonna meet with Rusty to talk about that. And yeah, that's what I'm focusing on. And hopefully I can get that all going. And I also want to do a vision board class for February as well in my studio. I was at a yoga retreat on Saturday, and there was quite a few ladies who were interested in doing it because it was setting your intentions for the year. And I mentioned it to a couple of ladies in the group that I do vision boards, and they were like, "What? Where?" So I'm going to reach out to them and book a class for a Saturday. Yeah.
That's amazing. I've got a link. I created a form in Google actually to put people on a wait list. So I'm happy to share that with you so you can just duplicate it. And
That'd be great. Thank
yeah,
you.
yeah. So I'll send you that. Then you can send it to those ladies, and then you've got them on your mailing list so that
Me
you
too, please.
yeah.
Me
Oh,
too.
yeah,
Can I get
absolutely.
the form? That would be great. Thank you.
Yeah, yeah. Here, actually, while you guys talk amongst yourselves. Oh my God, I'm dating myself here. Talk amongst yourselves while I get the form.
Love it.
Let's
I'd love a
go.
copy of that too. Thanks.
Right. Oh, and Brenda Lynn, I was going to ask you a question though before I go looking for that.
Yes.
Do you have your writing time on your calendar?
I do, but it's my dedicated Rusty time, like for our different things that we're doing in our writing groups. So I need something completely separate from that. So I do need to add it in. I'm thinking Wednesday, Friday would work. So more 2 days a week instead of every day, because it's just, I have so many meetings now.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
to stick.
Yeah, this is just like on your calendar just for yourself, like that. Okay, from 7 to 9 on Monday, Wednesday, Fridays, it's my writing time. And your writing time could be doing research as well. It could be doing whatever, right? It could be watching masterclass. It could be doing something on Mind Valley. It could be that is aligned with what you're writing about. It could be maybe once you connect with Renee's friend, she might have a whole bunch of links to share with you. So it could be just going through that. It's putting it aside and making it a sacred time for you
Right.
and for your mission,
Thank you.
if that makes sense.
Totally. Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. I mean, I have it on my calendar. Do I honor it all the time? No, but I think I'm probably about 70% on it.
Ooh, that's great.
So it does help. And especially when you've got reminders. And if you can keep yourself from telling your phone to quit nagging me.
That's what I can do. I can add it into my phone to set an alarm for myself because otherwise
Absolutely.
I'm get doing other stuff and okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So what do you need from the group, or does anybody have anything to add here while I grab the phone?
Brenda Lynn, I have a question for you. When is your most creative, productive time of the day?
Mornings.
So what I've been learning is block off those times. So for me, I have blocked my mornings to do things that are creative or meetings that I choose to go to, like this one. I was watching a guy called Alec. Oh my God, I can't remember his name. He's a multimillionaire, and he talks about he doesn't book meetings until like 4 o'clock in the afternoon. So his first meeting will be at 4, and if he has to book another one, it'll be at 3:30, and he'll back it that way so that he spends most of his day in creative mode. So I've started doing that on some levels, not as good as I'd like, but I've learned that if I can get in and be creative in the mornings when is my best time, then the rest of my day tends to flow better and I feel like I've accomplished something and I've moved the needle forward. So I would, suggest maybe just blocking out time in the morning to do what it is that really lights you up. And if writing is what does that, then I would block that time rather than going, oh, I got to do all this stuff. And then at 5 o'clock at night, go, okay, now I need to write because then you're exhausted, right?
Right.
So that would be my suggestion. But yeah,
Thank you. That's a great idea. Thanks.
you're welcome.
Brenda Lynn, I love that, Margaret. I'm gonna use that as well. Brenda Lynn, I worked with students with autism, supporting students with autism in school for I think 3-4 years. So if there's ever any times that you want to just bounce ideas back and forth, I would be more than happy to do that too. Because sometimes we just need, like you said, writing's very solitary, but sometimes you don't even need anybody's input, but just sometimes just somebody to bounce something back and forth to. So if you ever want to get on a call with me, I'd be more than willing to do that.
That's great. Thank you, Dee. I appreciate
Yeah.
that. Thank
And
you.
I actually I was also part of the provincial APFO rewriting of the autism course as well, AQ course. So I've got a bit of experience with that. So yeah, feel free.
Thank you. Thanks so much. Wow.
Great start to the week, Brenda Lynn. That's awesome.
Thank you
Now, do
also.
you need anything else from us?
I
Is there
don't
any
think
way?
so.
How can we support you?
I think you're doing it. This is it. You support me this way, and with all your suggestions, it gives me oomph to keep going. So thank you.
Awesome, possum. All right. How we doing? Well, we're doing fantastic. We're ripping through this like nobody's business. Margaret, young Margaret.
Yes. Okay, so I just looked back at our last meeting and all the ideas that were there, and I went, I did fuck all. So I'm being really honest. I've been trying to figure out, I spent a lot of time on ChatGPT trying to figure out my strategic plan for the year. And me and ChatGPT kind of came to a head to head because I'm like, this isn't what I want. So I had to take a break from that. And then this past week, I've been in a LinkedIn masterclass an hour a day. So I've been trying to implement the stuff there because I know a lot of my clients are on LinkedIn. I work with professional women, and I need women who have money to spend because coaching is not covered by insurance unless you've got a discretionary fund. And I need women who are ready to do the work, show up, and are into that area. So I've actually been spending time doing that. And I got piles of paper beside me, which I need to sort because I hate a crowded desk, but I end up that way anyway. So my 333 has not changed. It's still the same. I want to create and sign 5 new 5-star one-on-one clients in 5 hours dedicated time in 5 weeks from now. So when I look at the 5 hours dedicated time, it's going to be per week as opposed to just in total. So 5 hours dedicated time per week. And one of the things I've learned from the masterclass is the strategic way of moving and using LinkedIn to your advantage. So I'm going to be implementing those. I'm also totally rewriting my about section, and I'm like, oh, this will be easy. Yeah, no. So again, me and ChatGPT got head to head on that one. So now I'm like, fuck ChatGPT, I'm writing it myself because it couldn't quite get it the way I wanted it to be. So I'm in the process of doing that. Not that I think that I have to have that done before I reach out, but anyway. So the things that we talked about last time, like getting my grief assessment up on the Score app, it's still on my to-do. I will be blocking off 30 minutes to an hour every day to really dive into LinkedIn with a strategic way of really building my network, creating those conversations, creating those referrals. And within my strategic plan, it's really mapping out, when am I going to go to the 100 Women Who Care events? When am I going to be teaching at Soulful Camp? When am I going to be going, like I'm actually decided to be a vendor at the holistic fairs this year because I'm a holistic grief coach. So I don't think there's a holistic grief coach at any of these holistic healing and fairs, right? So I would like to position myself there. So for me right now, it's really, I feel like I'm all over the place. And it's really just honing in. The last, like up until the full moon pass, I was a fucking mess. The energies were knocking me on my ass. I couldn't concentrate. I was crying. I was all over the place. And literally, I'm not even kidding you. The next day I was like, woohoo! And I'm like, holy shit. So sorry, I swear a lot. I apologize for well, I don't apologize. It is who I am. And so I'm looking at what we talked about last time about what I'm going to be doing. So I did actually ChatGPT marketing plan, working with that. The Pomodoro, I keep forgetting to do that, but I think I'm doing it without thinking about doing it, except I want to be more productive because I did find that when I Pomodoroed before, when I did get up and move around for 5 minutes and come back, it really did make a difference. It really did. And I'm the type of person, masculine energy kicks in and you're like, go, 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 go. And then 3 hours later, you're like, oh my God, I'm exhausted. So I will be Pomodoroing. And really giving myself a break from trying to figure out how to do everything in one day because I am the achiever in me wants to get all this shit done and it's overwhelming. And so instead I do laundry, which is what I'm doing today, which is really not the most effective thing to be doing to move my business forward. But I feel like I've accomplished something in a day because I love doing laundry. I'm a weirdo, but it has a beginning, a middle, and an end. And I feel like I've accomplished. So in between all the stuff I'm doing today, I'm doing laundry too because it's very convenient. It's like literally right there. So within my strategic plan, I'm going to be building up. One of the things that I thought was really cool is when I worked with ChatGPT, I was like, this year I'm really focusing on my one-on-one clients. It's my high ticket offer. I want people in it. I've had the idea that I'm going to expand it. So right now, the beginning of it is $5,000 with me for 12 weeks. I'm going to actually take the same program and spread it out over 24 weeks, so 6 months, and then for a year. So people will have an option to work with me for 12 weeks, 6 months, or a year, and the price will go up and they can decide what works best for them. And I think I'm going to be parceling out the program so that the initial 12 weeks will just be in the Rise section of my Empower Awakening program because I feel like I've crammed too much into 12 weeks. Even though when people read it, they're like, oh my God. So maybe what I do is present it. You know what? Actually, that just came to me right now. I'll present it as this is the program I work with you on. You can do it in 12 weeks, 6 months, or a year. And this is what we're going to be working on. And if we need to go back and forth, we can. And understand that if you do it in 12 weeks, we may not get through all of it. And so I don't know, but I'm still tossing that around, but I've had the feeling about moving it to a 6-month program for quite a while. But ChatGPT gave me a really good idea just streamline my online course, the Grieving Blueprint. I'll go back and re-record it so it's just me on there, and just automate it so that people can go in and do it as a self-guided one versus me doing it. They can still book in the 30-minute session with me because I still want to do that. But I've got the workbooks created. I've got the slideshows created. I can just re-record the sessions so that clients aren't on the calls. They don't need to see my like unless they're doing live. And then just putting that out there as a really easy access to me, like a $97 course for 6 weeks. They can and make it a price point that is easy for them to say yes. It's a good way for them to get in my energy, and it also invites them to connect with me at least once, and then really focus my time on building up the Empower Awakening. And then on top of that, balancing out Unshakable Me. So we have March break. I have to share, I love that my business partner and I are so freaking aligned. It is incredible. I'm not used to that. I've been a solo person for so long. Like I push everybody away when I want to do stuff. It's like, but I think part of it is I don't trust people to do things the way I want them done. I'm a control freak. So but focusing on associations and the growth. Hello, you're back. You got bumped out. Are you okay?
Sorry about that. Yeah.
That's okay.
Hang on. I got to turn this off now. The network went.
Yeah. The networks are a pain in the butt. We've got like 3 in our house and it bumps around from one to the other. So anyway, all that to say, we're very excited about realigning what we're doing with Unshakable Me. And we're still going to offer camps. And if people want to run camps, we will sell them our programming and they can incorporate it into their camps. But really the messaging is what we're really focusing on. So that's sort of our 1 day a week is what we're focusing on. That both of us have our own businesses as well that that's our bread and butter until we can build up Unshakable Me to balance it or take over. But yeah, so that's where we're at. So I have a lot going on and I'm a little crazy. So yeah, that's me. So if anybody has any ideas on top of the gazillion things I'm already doing.
So yeah, offer different things for when you're talking about the 12 weeks, 6 month, 1 year, that kind of thing. Like 1 year is if they're going to be with you for a year, include a retreat in there.
Yep.
And make sure that you're charging accordingly. And the rule of thumb, as I understand it, is whatever it's going to cost you, say, to rent the facility, whether like it's a big giant Airbnb or whatever the case might be. So whatever that total cost is, that's the cost for one person.
Oh, okay.
So let's say you're doing something in Bali and you're doing 4 days and it's going to wind up costing you 5,000 US. It's 5,000 per person.
Okay. Oh, I like that. Okay, thanks.
Okay. That
so
was
here.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
So is that like just the rental cost for the place, or did that include all the food and the activities and everything? So if we look and see what would it cost me for one person or for the whole event?
Yeah, the whole event. So the whole thing.
Okay.
So the rental is going to be the most expensive, but then, and I use Bali as an example because I'm actually speaking with a client we're going to be working together to do a retreat in Bali in 2026. Mark your calendars.
Nice.
Nice. So that's on the horizon. And she was saying the prices are out of this world. Look at you.
I literally wrote that when you were gone.
Oh
like
my
I
gosh.
was writing Bali and I was writing it for Margaret because I have a friend who does conferences in Bali every year. Her brother runs it. He's got a yoga retreat there. and she's a teacher. And so she did this because it was an empowering course. And she came back to teach.
Mm,
And when Margaret was talking, I was like, oh, she wants these high connected people. She
Yeah.
should do this course and get connected in Bali with these people.
Look at that.
But Bali's been on my list of places to go. And now I'm
oh,
like,
me too.
I should put it there for 2026. And now you're saying this. So that's just wild.
Yeah, because the research that she
Mm,
did, it was a lot of these places actually come with a chef. And getting a
mm,
driver to take you anywhere is something like $50 a day. So it's super reasonable. They're US prices, but still like 4 days was, and I want to say for like a 10 bedroom house was something like 5,000 US for 4 days with a chef.
that's that's amazing.
It was crazy, crazy cheap. Now, the challenge is coming from North America and the,
Hmm.
time zone, that kind of thing, and either getting in early or finding other accommodations before and after or whatever. But that, I'm just giving you kind of
Hmm.
the rule of thumb sort of thing. Another one is Costa Rica. That's a lot of
Yeah,
retreats in
I was
Costa
in
Rica.
Costa Rica last year for a
Yeah.
retreat and it was amazing.
Yeah.
And I know they're going back again end of November, beginning of December. I'm not going this year,
Mhm.
but Costa Rica is great, but it's become way expensive than
Okay.
it used to be.
Okay.
So literally, to give you an idea, if you were looking at the Costa Rica dollar when you were down there, and so something was $10,
Mhm.
10 Costa Rican dollars, you would double that to get the US price. And
Mhm.
then you add the Canadian conversion. So something that was $10 was actually 25 Canadian,
Okay.
and you're like, oh. So
Yeah.
it puts it
Gives
in
you
perspective.
pause. Yeah.
Depending on where your people are coming from too, right? But
Yeah.
yeah, Bali is definitely on my list of places I'd like to go. Um, but I like that. So here's
Mhm.
what I was thinking as far as price points. And so 12 weeks for it's 49.97. 6 months, so 24 weeks would
Mhm.
be 89.97, so just shy of 9 grand.
Mhm.
So go from 5 grand. Instead
Mhm.
of doubling it to 10, I would give them a discount because they're going longer.
Mhm.
And then for the year, I was thinking about 15,000. Do you think I should up them?
I would up the 1 year
Up the 1 year? Okay.
to about 20,
Okay. And these are Canadian prices, not US.
then definitely up it to 20
Okay.
for the 1 year. Then the reason I'm saying that, especially if you're going to wind up including the retreat, are you including your
Mhm.
vision board workshops with this?
I am. What I include for the 12 weeks is that they get access to my vision board workshop for free. It's part of the bonuses that I put in there. For
Mhm.
the 6 month one, as I'm just kind of figuring that out, yes, they definitely, like, they all get it. And whether the 6 month one we do it together one on one or whether they attend a retreat is really depends on where they are because my clients are all over. So
Mhm.
it's not always feasible for them to attend in person. So I
Yeah.
give them the option. We either do it online one on one or you can come to an in-person event and it won't cost you anything.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay. So with the way I've broken mine down are the 12 week is actually a baker's dozen. I do 13 weeks
Okay.
because I include the vision board and I do include it live. Like it's
Okay.
online or in person, depending on where they're coming
And is
from.
it one-on-one with the vision board with them?
No, I put them in a
No.
group. Whenever I have
Okay.
another group, then I give them a
Hmm.
code and they get in on that group.
Okay.
The other thing is that the 6 month, and these are weekly group facilitations. So
Okay. They're not
it's a
one-on-one.
it's a weekly call, yeah, and it's
Hmm.
recorded. They have access to it, and then just upload everything. I just upload everything to school.
Hmm.
Um, the 6 month is a bi-weekly facilitation. So every 2 weeks, so they have really a lot of time to be able to study and integrate and
Hmm.
apply it and have like homework that they're going to be doing, and it gives them enough time because real life happens.
Yeah.
Um, and then, but I also include up to 6 one-on-ones with me. and they book it
Okay.
at their discretion. They book it. And they do book it because it'll be, okay, you know what? I'm really, this is getting away from me, or I'm not, that it's a clarity call really. And then we start,
Mhm.
we go through the homework and that kind of stuff. And it does help a lot.
Okay.
Um,
Yeah, mine is all one-on-one stuff anyway. They're always
okay.
one-on-one. I don't have a group
Okay.
coaching program. The group coaching was the course.
Okay.
Um, so whether I'll create the group coaching, I'm not sure right now. This year, it's all the one-on-one. That's my focus.
Okay.
So
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. So you
Okay.
might want to consider doing the 6 month as a group thing.
Okay. I'll consider that for sure.
It's just,
Consider.
it's just a suggestion. It's
Okay.
entirely up to you. It depends because yeah, with what you're doing, grief is a very personal thing, right? You don't want any kind
And
of
that's
FOMO or anything like that. And so,
yeah,
yeah, I
because
can.
what I do with my clients in the actual coaching session is really deep emotional work. And there's often a
Mm,
lot of emotional piece happening and a
oh,
lot of really deeply personal things coming up. So the group coaching for me would be more of an educational thing where they can book a session with me outside of it.
mhm,
That's where my program comes in. But the actual coaching itself, because it's such a vulnerable place, it's not like I'm
yeah,
teaching business and it's all neutral. I'm
agreed.
working with emotion. So for me, I struggle with how I would set that up to make it impactful enough for them.
Hmm. Understood. Yeah, that's why
Yeah.
I was, yeah, you're right, because that's where what you and I do is kind of differs from that
Yeah.
in that perspective.
Hmm.
That's why I include the one-on-one so that the deep
Yeah.
emotional stuff then is
Comes
private.
out.
It's
Yeah.
just the two of us.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get
Yeah.
it.
That's what we do every week. So
Totally
anyway,
get
I think
it.
I'm over my time. I'm over my time. So thank you guys. If anybody has any ideas, please feel free to shoot me a message.
Okay.
I put in the chat a link to a LinkedIn SEO for you, just because you were saying you wanted to connect with high
Yes.
women. It'll show how to work your profile to help with, I
Sweet.
guess, connecting.
Ah, cool. Thanks, Renee.
Oh, thank you.
Beautiful.
Awesome.
Oh, and it's a
That's
Hootsuite
great.
article. Fabu. Yeah. Awesome. Okay. Well, we still have a little bit of time. Jane wasn't able to join us today. And so that's where I thought, oh, okay. Well, then if Renee needs in on this, hang on a second. There we go. All of my windows went cattywampus when the network went down. My bad. Margaret, just a question. Did you say you do charge for the grieving blueprint?
Oh, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
good. Okay.
Originally live, I've been selling it at 333. Three is
Hmm.
my favorite number. And I had two people join in September. I had nobody join in November. And then when I offered it through my 14 days of giving at 70% off, I had one person join. I'm like, this is not worth my time if people are not joining this program. That's why I'm going to automate it and I'll sell it for like $97 and you get 6 weeks of sessions and you get workbooks and you work through it. And then if you want to book a time with me, then we get a 30-minute
Hmm.
call, which is something I offer to people anyway.
Okay. Yeah.
So, and one of the things that came out of that when I was talking to my social media person, she suggested I take the course and start marketing it to funeral homes, hospice, cancer centers, the NICU, floral stores, coaches, HR, insurance companies, retirement homes, and the bereaved families of Ontario. Just saying, I have this course for people who are looking to figure out how they
Beautiful.
grieve. It may not be good for like the initial month or two when people are really intense, but it's great for people who are trying to figure out how do I grieve? What is this grief thing all about? And yeah. So that's on my to-do.
I would,
Great.
Margaret, I'm wondering if you add also in our area, Project Mental Wellness. So your suicide support groups,
Yeah.
because they'll often have speakers come in as well. And they're, yeah,
Okay.
maybe not in, like you said, not in the initial months, but after, once they're ready
Mm-hmm.
to start to reach out. The other thing that was coming up for me when you were talking about the not doing the group coaching, totally get that because I wouldn't want to be in that space in a group either.
With grief.
Um, yeah, but I wonder almost as a almost as a transitional next steps thing, instead of them going from working with you in such a rich emotional way to then being done. Maybe that might be a place to consider a group session, some group sessions of some sort, where then they can come together as a small group, where you're doing educational type, like empowerment and things that we need when we're coming back from that grief cycle. Because oftentimes, yes, it's so emotionally, can be triggering, can be all of that. But as well, there's those benefits of also hearing how others are coming back from it.
I like that. I
Yeah.
really like that. Thank you. That
Yeah.
makes more sense too, because they've done a lot of the deep work with me, and they may be in a better place to now they just want to have people that they might be able to chat with that have been through
Mhm.
it too, that we can reach out for support. I think where I've struggled with even creating something like that is when I was going through my own stuff. The last thing I wanted to do was talk to anybody else.
Mm.
I'm not a grief support person as far as going to grief groups and bereavement groups. For me, I was like, and this is my own opinion, I think it perpetuates the victim mindset of poor me, because you go to these sessions and you reiterate everything all the time. But there are people out there who go and they find them extremely valuable and awesome. I'm so glad they do. I don't. But I don't, I think it's just the way I was approaching my own grief, right? So but yeah, I like the idea of saying, you know what, when we're done, I've created a group for other professional women who've been through it, who are just supporting each other. And if it's like, hey, let's just grab a coffee, or that you can connect, and I'll be putting information, and we can do sessions like once a month or once every couple of weeks. Yeah, I like that. Thanks, Dee.
Yep.
I like that idea, because then it still keeps them in my circle. But if they're anything like me, they don't want the touchy feely in the group sessions. They're
Yeah.
professional women who are very driven, and yes, they want the support, but they don't want to be like baby fed or anything like that.
Yeah.
So
And there's lots of people when they're going through some of those things that they don't want to rehash. That
no.
is nowhere near their, they don't want to talk about, maybe they don't talk about that at any state. They never
Yeah.
talk about that with anybody else. But it's the rebuilding part that is the focus there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I love that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're very welcome.
Yeah, those are great suggestions. Yeah, because now that I think of it, it's like when I'm doing the biweekly facilitation, it's really more lecture and okay, here's the homework, here's what we talked about last week, here's what's going on this week, and that what you're going to be going through, and then here are the worksheets. And so it's more that kind of thing. It's not some deep sharing, but that I don't know that that's really how yours is structured. Yours is very one-on-one centric.
It is. It is.
Yeah.
It's very
Yeah.
one-on-one centric, and it has
Yeah.
to be if they want to heal.
Yeah.
Honestly,
Yeah.
you're not going to get that healing in that level, in that depth,
Yeah.
unless you're willing to just go explode in front of people. So,
Yeah. No, I love your suggestion, Dee. That's
Mhm.
brilliant. I mean,
Yeah, thank you so much.
even taking it one step further and just creating some sort of membership or a group or something that they can graduate to, if you will.
Yeah,
And
I
doing it
love it.
that way. You brought up a really good point, Margaret, and I want to open this up to the floor about, having suggestions of going to, offering things to funeral homes and, Dee said the suicide lines or centers and that kind of thing. What could the rest of us do? What are some of the ancillary associations or groups, or what is it that where can we go? Because Brenda Lynn, you just got a taste of it by connecting with Renee's friend and what Dee just suggested. So is there anything else that anywhere else you could look to either promote a quick workshop or something, or even just to reach out and have a conversation?
Right. What are our granny gooses instead of the golden goose? You
Yes,
granny goose,
I love
right?
it. The granny goose. Yeah.
What are the granny gooses? What are the agencies that you could go to? Like for me, the Learning Disabilities Association, Autism Ontario, Autism Canada, uh,
Mhm.
so many things that, yeah,
Yeah.
I have a whole list that I did one day a while ago. I just have to find it.
Okay. Okay. So yeah, that really it gives us pause, right? To kind of hang on a second. Yeah, it's a big world out there, right? How many billion? Right? So there's other stuff happening that what we do feeds into that. Um, Dee and Brenda Lynn, were you in Dare to Shine as well? Were you or
No, I was not.
no?
I
Okay, but Dee, you were.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's really
University.
Aaron's A to Z formula.
Yeah. Brenda Lynn, you probably already thought of this, but the parent resource centers through the colleges that run EC programs. You've probably thought of that on your list, but I know those might be really great places to connect with people too.
Thank you.
Even your college, any of your college programs
Yes, and we have a
from
early childhood community development
Mhm.
center here as well. So
Yeah.
um,
I wonder to also extend that into the programming in the colleges where they have people that help people go to school. I can't remember the right terminology for it right now. But like they have a coach in school, in the workplace as they transition.
right,
There's an acronym for it, but I can't remember what it is. That might be another. So through your student services, through the colleges and universities too.
right. Thank you.
Yeah. So I don't know if that helps you at all, Renee, and just to start thinking about those ancillary groups that you could be reaching out to.
Yeah, I'm in a few of them. I actually I reached out yesterday to a guy that created my Real Listings logo. He's an agency in Ottawa.
Mhm.
Um, so I reached out to him to see if he would be open to an internship, and so we're supposed to meet in the next week or so when I get back from Mexico.
Oh, awesome. Yeah. Awesome. Cool. Okay. Is there anything else? Have we left it all out on the table or can it be at 9:54?
What about you, Carol? What are you working on?
Oh, yeah, that's right. I guess I have to report mine too, right? Okay, well, maybe we'll go late. No, I'm kidding. Actually, so yeah, even with the move, my 333 statement was I had revamped it because I want to be really focused on the membership because we're coming up to a year, celebrating a
Mm.
year of this membership. Like that just blew my mind. So what I did is I know, right? Anyway, so that means that there's a year's worth of content in the vault. And so I decided to put together, I've put together an email to the members actually and going, wow, it's been a year. Here's what's in there, just as a reminder, because we did shift platforms, right? The royal we, I mean, what am I, the queen? Anyways, but so my statement was, how can I create 30 new members in 30 days in 3 hours of focused work? Because there are a lot of things that I'm going to be looking at is making it more of the focus, the importance of study group. Um, Not everybody gets it unless they're in study group in the morning. They don't, right? I mean, Brenda Lynn and Dee, you guys get it, and I know I get it, but I'm the one who has to actually formulate the thought and put it out there because people go in study group 7 a.m. No, when it's not that at all. You don't even notice the time once you're in. And so that's the thing that, the importance of having that time on the calendar, which is really what we were talking about, right, Brenda Lynn? So that's where my focus has been lately, and also with the Reclaim Your Mojo and putting that course together because I see that as it's kind of the antithesis to setting New Year's resolutions, or that's the way I saw it. we all got off to a slow start this year, it seems. A lot of people came out of 2024 going, what happened? Did anybody get the license plate? Like, seriously, what was that? Right. And in some cases, it was really, really good. Like I feel in a lot of ways, I had a banner year. And then on the other hand, it was probably the most challenging year. But if anything, the 2024 has proven to me that the breakdown always precedes the breakthrough. Always. It's when you're in the corner with a finger in your thumb in your mouth and the other one up your ass in a fetal position going, I don't want to do this anymore. This is too hard. Then all of a sudden there's like, oh, somebody just sent me a note. Oh, right. I mean, this is what it always happens that way. So now it's like I'm looking at it and going, all right, bring it. Yeah, I feel like crap. All right, whatever. I'll acknowledge that for like all of 5 minutes and then, wipe my nose, get on with it, because it's being in integrity to your word to you. So that's where I'm looking at all of the things, the great suggestions that you guys gave me. And it's really, really getting laser focused. That's the one that's standing out for me. So, yeah, that's where I'm at. I've really just looked at the renewals, and just going to be focused in the next couple of weeks. Probably, I will be honest, I will likely be putting 100% of my energy into it after we move. Because right now, split focus, split results, right? I don't want to just kind of be dabbling in it. When I'm feeling inspired, I'm going to be putting out a post that means something to me, and hopefully will land on the ears and the heart of someone who is feeling that at the same time. But otherwise, I'm just staying the course, staying focused on the members that I have, and staying focused on the Reclaim Your Mojo, and getting moved and embracing the change. It's super scary, yeah, and yet exciting. I'm already seeing myself there, so that's a good sign. That's a good sign. So that's where I'm at. So that's it. I don't know what else to add to that.
It sounds like you have a plan. That's awesome. And really, if you're in the middle of a move, you're already giving yourself grace and saying, I'm just going to focus on these things. And you're smart, deciding not to take anything on while you are moving. Like, don't need to add stress to your plate, right?
Yeah. Well, the one thing I have noticed too, and I think it's come up in a bunch of different ways. And like I keep joking with Tina about having a bruise on the side of my head because the universe keeps going smack. Listen. I was like, okay. And so here's what I've noticed. It's like the less you do something, the more you get. The less you focus on the creation of money, the more you get. The more you focus on downtime, the more productive you become. All these contradictory things happen, the more you eat the right foods, the more weight you release. It's really what we think. No, that's not how that works. Yeah, it is how that works. So I'm learning to let go, and like you said, give myself some grace and just go, okay, this is the big nut that needs to be cracked right now, is this move. And I have some beautiful stuff on the go that I can work with and be present. That's the thing that I wanted to make sure, that where my work was concerned, that I was present with the people that I am working with. So that's where I'm at. Yeah. I don't know. Does anybody else have anything else to, oh, look at that. We're at 10:01.
That sounds great, Carol. Happy packing.
Thank you.
And
Thank you. Hi,
I'm
Shelby.
excited to get a tour of your new place when you get there.
Yeah. Yeah, I will. I'll be, I'll walk around with I'll get on a few minutes early and do the tour.
The
It'll be
tour.
predominantly empty for the most part, and probably a lot of boxes lying around, but I'm hoping I've taken the full week. So February 1st to whatever, the 7th, and then back in full force on the 8th. So we've already got like
Mhm.
all the internet and all of that stuff is lined up, and
When do
uh,
you move in?
the 6th in the new place. We're out of here on the 4th. We're officially homeless for a couple of days. We're sleeping at Danielle and Dave's, actually, my daughter.
I'm in Toronto for Paul's funeral, family day weekend, the 15th. So,
Paul. Oh, I didn't write.
my dad's brother, Paul, passed away.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, Renee.
Yeah, right before Christmas. So,
Oh, shoot. Okay,
yeah.
so they're doing a celebration of life on family.
Yeah, so dad lost both his sister and his brother this year. But anyways, not that.
Oh, yeah.
But so I'll be there though in February, so maybe I can pop by see the new
Oh,
place.
please do. Yeah, come
Yeah.
on up. There'll be a room for you.
I've got Ben and Andy, so I don't know if we want to do that.
It's okay. It's all good. It's all good. There'll be
But
room
no,
for
I'm
them.
coming
You
up on the
make room.
Saturday, so maybe we can get together on the Saturday.